Let me get this tweeted out so everybody join in here. 1 second, please. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. So happy Thursday, everybody. Thankful Thursday. Thankful everybody's here, and hope everybody had a good one. And quite a day today. I mean, it was a job. It was not looking like a trend day today at all, and then they pushed it up at the end of the day, right? So pretty wild stuff there. But anyway, guys, we're going to be wrapping up our series this week on what is a trend day. But before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look and see where we left off in the market here today. And then we're going to take a look at the futures and see what we're up to or down to this evening, what might be setting up going into tomorrow. And then we're going to take a look at the topic, and then we'll go through questions and chart requests. So let's get started. All right, so guys, wow, SPX today, guys, up 13 points. Not a huge day point-wise, but we were not far away from all-time highs, and we hit all-time highs on the SPX. The only reason we didn't get the Return of the Jedi video today is because the SPY and the S&P futures didn't hit all-time highs when all three of the S&P derivatives or whatever hit all-time highs. Then we get the Ewoks. But other than that, still pretty good move right here, guys. Again, amazing stuff. Weekly chart, we cleared all the last weekly levels over the last 2 weeks, and just an amazing move up, right? Just things were really starting to break down a little bit. We had a couple, that's a funny thing. It's so hard to flush this market, right? Even the red candles here barely get any follow through to the downside. They always get a dip buy on it. You get one right. We had one day right here, and it was right after OPEX, and that was like the one day where we got a down move, and they still bought the dip like crazy on it, and back to the 50-day moving average. And then they tried again. We had a 3 candle, doji sandwich down, no follow. They couldn't do it yet. Green candle, gapped up. This one didn't make it. Then we had a higher low, working on the harmonic, and then we just had the blast to the upside. Just incredible. I mean, the market just so Willy Wonka. But again, green candle, green candle, green candle, green candle. So wouldn't be surprised if we actually saw a red candle tomorrow. So that would be a possibility, considering that this wave just does not stop. Right, the never-ending wave up. There's multiple ways you can count it, but ultimately, I count a 1, 2, 3, 4 triangle. Wave 5, right? So that, of wave 3. So that would give us, remember all impulsive waves are made up of smaller waves, right? So that gives us our move up here. So if we start to pull back tomorrow, wouldn't surprise me if we get this move right here, and then we see another wave 5 up. Because don't forget, guys, this is only the first part of it. This is 1, 2, 3, or 5, and then we got the 3, the 1, 2. So this would make wave 3, and then we'd have a larger wave 4, and then a larger wave 5 up, guys. I mean, this is like basically taking us to 5,000. So pretty wild stuff. But anyway, so I know we went from being bearish to like, wow, I think we might be going to 5,000, right? So just a little dip buy right here was all it was. So pretty cool stuff. But it's been fun tracking it the whole way and getting some good opportunities along the way up. So cool stuff there. All right, well, let's do the futures and see what we're up to or down to here this evening. So futures down a little bit right now, mostly because of Snap. Snap, crackle, and pop to the downside, right? So that pretty much weighed on a lot of the big names on the B5, right? Weighed on weighed on Facebook, weighed on Roku, right? A bunch of the Apple a little bit. Apple getting blamed for Snap being down, stuff like that. So looking a little bear flaggish here after this drop here. This drop was actually after hours. Right, so they did it all after us. Hey guys, look, we're going to all-time highs. Everything is awesome. Okay, cool. The market's closed. Let's go down. Let's go back down here. Right. So I mean, let's get all that money. So anyway, so possible bear flag here going into tonight, and then we'll just kind of see how things hold going into tomorrow. Like we said, guys, it is possible that we see kind of like a wave 4-ish type move, A, B, C type thing, and then or it could be a triangle, right? So remember, wave forms can be triangles too. So we'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, keep an eye on this this potential flag or channel here going into tonight. Obviously, very low volume here. We'll have to see what happens when the European market opens at 2 a.m., right? See if we get any overnight drift or what the case is. But anyway, $1 billion MOC to the buy side today, so we'll see how that ends up playing out. So pretty cool stuff there. Other than that, guys, let's get to the topic. So the topic again we've been talking about this week is what is a trend day, And we talked about different techniques to help detect when a trend day is going. So today was a perfect example of not a trend day, right? And then becoming a trend day, which is just crazy, right? So just kind of chop and move, right? So a lot of the methods that we talked about were a little bit, kind of suspect, right? So, but again, it's okay, right? When you notice that you're not trending, right? It's a good idea to step aside, right? So, not try to force anything, right? So this is a classic example here today, right? If you go to the 60-minute chart, right, you go to today's candle, right? We had a decent candle right here. Did we close above this candle, right? No, not until here, not until the end of the day. So we were not trending today. Today was not a push day, right? We had here, right, this day right here, nice green candle, close above it, continue to close above. Close, 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 close. Here, yesterday, sideways, sideways, sideways. Decent day, right? But sideways, sideways, sideways. Here, decent day, sideways, 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 and then they push it up the end of the day. Just a breakout at the end of the day, right? And even that was not necessarily expected, right? So we originally had the larger triangle going into today, and then you basically just have this, right? And then you kind of look for the volume once it comes in. There's no volume here, right? So this breakout was no good, right? So you shift your triangle up here to the next pivot right here, okay? And then you get this candle right here. Finally, a little bit of volume, and then finally some real volume. Now we're breaking out, right? So again, it just is what it is, right? Change of composure intraday. It's got to look for it, right? So that's kind of one of the big things. So how do we know things are trending, right? So we got one more tool that we're going to talk about here this week. There's a couple other methods that are out there, of course. There's market profile, other indicators, things like that. But we're just going to slap on the old RSI, right? So one of the things that we like to look at is particularly on the larger time frames, right? We like to see that we're starting to make higher lows. Right, so one of the key strikes today on SPX was the let me go to SPX. So we marked these at the open here today. Obviously 4,500. I think it was like 45. Where's my stuff? It's not on here. I don't have it on here, but ultimately what we're let me get today's on. Sorry, today was the 21st. There we go. Yeah, this big level right here, the 4530s. So again, we highlight these zones that are really important to us, and this ended up serving as support, and then we had the higher low, and then we started pushing. We got to our next big level up, right? So that was kind of the the big thing here on the SPX today. And so when we look at that and we see that, right, what we want to do is we'll use our RSI, is even if we're not using the levels, right, we could still use it to look for higher lows, right? And so so ultimately. And and basically trying to hold his trend line, right? So ultimately, kind of going into today, we opened the day up. You just go in the opening candles right here. You can see initially we had a lower low right here, right? And then once we started to work, right, we held this level nicely throughout the day, and that was a key level on the SPX, right? So we bounced initially off of it, right? They gave us a good level right here. We came back and retested it, low of the day. It couldn't get below the pre-market lows, bounced off of it again, and then once we see again here on the RSI that we started to put in a higher low. Right, and that also corresponded with our breakout levels right here. So really, really cool stuff. And what you can do is you can start to actually draw trend lines in your RSI, and once you get these volume breakouts on here, then that RSI can help lead you to your next target, right, which is the overbought area. And so that can really help you look for, although it's not necessarily like today wasn't a trending day, we started to trend up at the end of the day, and that's using the higher lows in the RSI, right? So if we go, yesterday was kind of a choppy, sloppy day, right? So we could see initially, right, what do we see here, right? We got kind of a bit of a higher low, but we were already overbought, right? So we're basically a lower high at that point. So we were triangulating, right? And when we lost that triangle, remember the triple Lindy yesterday, right? We dropped down, right? That was a good futures trade, right? But then we start getting here. Now things start to get a little bit interesting, right? So we got this, right? Now we've got a higher low corresponding here, right? And then things start to trend, right? Because we break out of the 60 orb range, right? And things start to work their way up, and we're making higher lows here and here, and then a little bit sideways right here, right? So that's where things kind of started to flatten out, right? And then once we lost that level here, you can see on the RSI, things also started to work its way down, right? Same thing here too, right? So here we had the, kind of opening the day. We had this here. We had a higher low right here. Started to get a higher low right here, and then we got overbought, right? And then once we're overbought, we just kind of go from there. We had a lower high right here, but no breakdown, right? So again, using the RSI can be really helpful, just as a confirmation tool to show that, hey, we are trending, we're getting higher lows, right? And that's really what we look for, essentially higher highs, higher lows, right? And so, but for the most part, higher lows when we're trending can really, really be helpful. So anyway, just a tool you can add just to kind of give confirmation, be like, hey, we're going up here, or hey, we're breaking out here. It makes sense, right? Stuff like that. So so hopefully you guys found that helpful. And again, really, really good on the 15-minute chart. So hopefully you guys found that helpful. At this point now, if anybody's got any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll go through as many as we can, try to wrap as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good stuff there. Hold on, guys. Let me get a sip of my tea. All right, good stuff. So yeah, so couldn't quite get all-time highs here on the SPY today. Anyway, they tried. So Ota sent a few in here via Twitter. So let's see what we got on the radar here. So we got Amazon, looking pretty interesting. Bearish engulfing candle yesterday, inside day today. Right, so if the futures are weak and we do end up being weak going into tomorrow, keep an eye on it. If we take the inside day down, we may still tag that ADMA, but it did make a nice day trade yesterday, which we pointed out in the Discord. FedEx, let's take a look. FedEx, hey guys, this is nice. Finally starting to make a move. You guys pointed it out yesterday. Decent move over these levels and starting to get some volume right here. So we got a little bit of room to get to that 235 level, and above that, it might start to work its way into the gap. Just FYI, UPS was pretty epic today, right? So so a nice move there. That also cleared some major levels here, and that's also working its way into its gap. So definitely keep that one on the radar as well. Docu, let's take a look. Beautiful move today. I love the, I think, did I tweet this out today? Anyway, we pointed out in the Discord today. I love the close over the 50-day moving average, so a nice move there. Good volume today. Looking for a potential move up to the cloud. Risk reward is a little bit iffy, but definitely a strong move today. We had some pretty heavy option activity on it for tomorrow's expiration, so we'll see how that goes. NVIDIA, I love this name. Semiconductors, the AMD and NVIDIA are my favorite names going into this week. Looks like it's on a rampage up to all-time highs. We liked Monday. We liked the Doji sandwich up. We just kind of chopped around for 2 days, and today you got a nice move up. By the way, AMD, so Intel reported after hours, and if Intel goes down, right, watch AMD. It likes to go up. Right? So here's Intel, right? You can pretty much just bank on Intel going down on every earnings report, right? So Intel got crushed here today, right? So the big thing that Intel came out to, which is kind of interesting, and this might also really be kind of behind the scenes what could bring the market a little bit of weakness going in tomorrow. Intel basically said, hey, we're going to have chip shortages to 2023, right? So what does that do? Right, well, that's bad, right? So that's bad for the automotive industry, right? So that brings the car businesses down. And obviously other sectors too, right? Where you start to see kind of a backlog of supply, which could start to drive prices up, make inflation go up even more, right? So that type of thing. So anyway, so kind of interesting thing there in Intel and Nvidia. So but Nvidia looking pretty good. So good stuff there. And Shirley, thanks so much. Shirley sent a few via email. And Shirley, hope you're doing great out there. Of course, Tesla. So Tesla is huge today, guys. Anybody following on the public Twitter, I pointed out entries on this one today. Big volume, of course, in the group on the live stream this morning. The 900 calls were just hot this morning. Now, 900, you're way out of the money, right? We pointed this out below the three snowmen, right? The 888 level. And this initial burst to the upside, right? So those 900 calls, right, when you start to pull back, they have no intrinsic value, right? It's not like going in the money or going with the 7 delta, right, or 70 delta. There's like 30 deltas, right? I mean, so you pull back a little bit, these things get crushed, right? So especially when you got theta on a Thursday, right? And so and then the vol crush coming in too from after earnings, right? So this thing's got to move. Now you had so much volume up there on those 900 calls that there was a good chance that it at least got tagged. And look at that, it tagged the 900 strike to the tick. If you guys don't think options are important these days, they are, and they drive markets, right? And the reason is because of your gamma, right? And your delta hedging, right? The market makers, right? If you're buying, if your options are so crazy and this thing price is moving, these option, the market makers are writing these options to anybody who's buying them, right? These calls, they gotta hedge it, right? And they hedge it. They keep delta neutral by buying buying shares or buying the market, right? So or buying, like, for instance, the S&P 500, and so they buy futures, they buy the stock, right? And so Tesla. It's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Let's get it up to the 900 strike, blah, blah, blah. Everybody takes profit, and then everybody's, just kind of calms down for the rest of the day, right? So it's pretty neat stuff there on Tesla today. Now, we'll see if it gets any more follow through tomorrow. Over 900 is strong, so keep an eye on that level right here. Netflix is pretty epic here, guys. We pointed this out, too, in the public Twitter. This bull flag that we've been tracking forever. Started to get some strength here above it here today, and is kind of day after earnings, right? So what do we look at? We look at the 30 orb, right, which is basically like your 60 orb right here, too, but, you kind of go to your 15 right there. Breakout over this level right here. There's a 30 orb move, right? Nice move on Netflix for the bull flag breakout on the daily chart. When those correspond, they make really, really nice moves often, right? So cool stuff there. Shirley's also got CAR on the radar. Let's take a look here. Yep, CAR is continuing to push its way up to the two highs. Nice new highs. I like that. There we go. Pushing its way up here, looking really good. Been holding the 80 MA, fresh highs. Take basically the double doji up. I love it. And then Square, guys. This thing's looking strong. It's a tough name to trade, but it had a good day today. You guys pointed it out the other day. I said, hey, it's got room to get to the 50-day moving average. Watch out your cloud resistance. Went sideways for a day, and then boom, got right through the thin cloud right there. See that little thin cloud? Thor's twins, right? So made a nice move through the canyon right there. And again, could be working on an earnings run. So I think definitely one to keep an eye on here too. And Docu, we already looked at. Beautiful move through the 50-day moving average today. So nice move there as well. Good stuff. And JMOS, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. You got CLF on the radar. Inside day today, see if we can take it up. See if we can get going on that one. FCX, nice hammer on this one today off of the ADMAs. Hanging in there, working on that flag, right back into the flag range. So let's see how that goes. And AFRM, still hanging in there, but over the ADMA. Green day today up $7, up about 5% today off of yesterday's lows. But so basically just a bounce off of the ADMA. So again, inside day up could keep this thing going. And then Cube. Again, still a decent follow through here still so far, so just kind of hanging on to the 80 minutes. Even get out of that cloud with some volume. Good stuff there. Michael Phillips, the DWAC. I love it. The DWAC. Look at that move today, guys. Talk about, well, we haven't had a Trump pump in a while, and here it is. He's back. So, remember it used to be the tweets. Now it's going to be what the truths or whatever it's going to be. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, wild move on this name today. I believe it's up after hours already to like 70. Let's see. Yeah, already up to like 74 here. So let's see if that continues. I got a lot of folks that are hoping, planning on this thing going to 100. So let's see how that goes here on the DWAC. I love it. Good to see you, Michael. And Mike, what's going on? Good to see you. Yeah, good job on Etsy. Nice from the Bubble Report. Yeah, I mean, the Bubble Report was all over it today. Big move on Etsy. You guys actually, Shirley brought this to my attention yesterday. I love the inside day up. No, AM Tech in the group did, and then Shirley mentioned it again yesterday too. Inside day up here yesterday, and nice follow through that through the highs of the day. Great job on that one, man. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you did well on it. And then Snoopy, what's going on? Going to see it. Yeah, Tesla's money all day today. All morning at least. It gave an incredible move. 900 was the target. All-time highs was the real. I was like 40 cents away. Don't get greedy. You hit 900. That's a whole number, guys. Algos love to sit at whole number levels and push, right? So if you can't get over the whole number, it's because algos are sitting up there. You need a lot more volume to get through it, where the algos, then they switch over to buy mode, right? So a big whole number like 900 on Tesla is going to, you might see some resistance there. But come on, it's like 40 cents. Can't get to all-time highs anyway. But incredible stuff there. So, yeah, big move on Tesla. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Would like to have seen a little more volume on the 15 for this thing to really, really go. I mean, it's not that it wasn't an incredible move and we didn't point it out and all that stuff, but the 15, I really would like to have seen more volume piling in here, and we just had that big drop off of this candle. So upper shadow right here off of the high volume. Let's get some more, right? So normally when Tesla really goes, that 15 volume really just starts to accelerate. I mean, everybody's getting in it, right? But it was still a great move, and I just think, if there was more 15-minute volume, we could have got to all-time highs in it. But anyway, good stuff right there. I love it. Good stuff. Armando, what's going on? Happy Thursday. Thankful Thursday. Love it. Yeah, AMD up after hours off of the Intel news. Again, wouldn't be surprised if this thing, continued its ascent and got to all-time highs in relatively soon. Nvidia, same thing, right? Looking pretty interesting. eBay, there's an interesting one. Okay, so bull flag breakout yesterday, but with a bit of an upper shadow, so it kind of came back into range, kind of sitting in the range right now. So again, see if it takes that inside day up and wants to really work on that measured move on the bull flag. And Michael Phillips, I know Snap. Yeah, Snap crackled and popped. A lot of folks were bullish on this one going into earnings, and I was like, there's really no reason to be. And the chart is a mess. It's total gamble. And guess what? That's what happens when you gamble, right? So, binary event into earnings here on Snap. But that's a big move down. Again, huge loss in revenue, 25%, and then they're pointing the finger at Apple and Facebook and all that stuff. So I guess PayPal should have looked to buy this one, right? Maybe PayPal can buy Snap instead at a bargain. I love it. So and then BX. Yeah, BX is the Fed is now bullish on inflation. I know, exactly. So there's your Blackstone right there. So still maybe going to move up there over the AMA. Nice doji. See if it continues to work its way up. And the Fed now, I think, is just released a new policy about okay, guys, no more trading, your personal accounts when we know ahead of time what we're going to be, where the market's going to go. Okay, yeah, I guess there's a little hand slap right there for it. So anyway, Can we all get free plane tickets? Anyway, good stuff there. Adriana, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Starbucks. That's one of my favorite names going into tomorrow. I like the inside day. I want to see if we can pop to the upside. Looking for a possible jack in the box to the upside on this one. Apple Dapple. Looking pretty good here too. Again, this is kind of pausing here. Might go sideways a little bit. Let's see how it goes. It's kind of down a little bit after hours, I think, because of the Facebook, Snap type stuff. But we'll see how it goes. Again, over today's highs and yesterday's highs could get it going again. 150 and above, we could see what we could revisit 151. Derry, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. NMG, let's take a look. NMG with a big inside day up on this one. Very, very nice. And how's Sophie doing? Yeah, so Sophie gave it one more little pusher there and left with an upper shot. Kind of ran out of steam. Some sellers started being like, I don't feel too comfortable up here, right? So that comes and gives us a new line in the sand, that 2150, a new line in the sand. So we'll see how that holds. But next reversal and back up, 2150 could be a good target. And then if we can get above it, it would be great. So good stuff there. And 2020 says it all. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. V. Yeah, credit cards were kind of weak today, but a little bit of a rally here on V to get back over the ADMA. So let's see how that holds here today, or going into tomorrow. Penn with the pullback to the ADMA, a little bit rough right there. Might want to test the 50-day. And Wish. Wish had a great move, right? So we had this candle right here, which was the first decent candle that closed over the ADMA. It was also got a lot of hype on it, a lot of chatter, and then the next day we got a big push here to the 50-day moving average, left an upper shadow right there, and then kind of sitting on the inside day so far. So maybe it'll consolidate and try to get going again. But good stuff there. Money Monster, what's going on? Yeah, Snap getting crushed yesterday. All right, let's take a look at Snap and see where we're at. So we're at 58. So 58 is right down here. Right now after hours. So we're sitting right here after hours. Okay, so that basically just puts at some support right here. So let's see how it holds. 57.30 is basically your key level. Line in sand. If we lose that, right, kind of like your next level down is like 53, right? So, but if they do buy the dip tomorrow, right, this was an island top. Right, so the last time we had this big gap up right here off of the last earnings, right? So we were just kind of sitting in this big island top right here, and then we gap below it, right? So now, so a little bit of caution down here, but if it really wanted to, they could start to eat, kind of start to dig into the gap a little bit. So we'll see how that goes. SPY, of course, we took a look at this a little bit earlier. Again, not too far away from all-time highs, but they pulled it back right at the end of the day after the Snap breakdown, which took down Facebook and a couple other big names. So we'll see if they try to buy the dip again tomorrow, or if we start that wave 4 down, which we looked at a little bit earlier. TSM is just kind of in the middle of the range right now, just chopping around, not even much after hours after all the after the Intel report. So we'll see how that goes. And but again, nothing really, just kind of just chopping back and forth between levels right now. So recently is up, down, so it's kind of in the middle of the range. So it might try to work its way up and get over the 200-day moving average. So definitely something to keep an eye on there too. Onsite, what's going on? Good to see it. Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Let's take a look at TOL. So TOL, Toll Brothers, again, inside day right here, a little bit of caution here with the home buyers, mortgage rates going up, things like that. As the real estate market, if it tends to wind down, this one usually moves with the market, right? So if the market starts to work its way down, housing market starts to work its way down, home builders start to work their way down, right? So definitely something to keep an eye on there. Also watch your lumber prices too. And then Michael Phillips, yeah, Tesla, I know exactly, they were wild time, exactly. You gotta be really careful with those. But I am game, what's going on? I'm gonna see it. So you got Roku on the radar. So Roku, guys, we warned about this one, right? So we had the bull flag breakout. If you're in on this breakout candle right here, you had 6-7 days of pain, and then you got paid here. And folks were asking me on this day if it looked good, and I was like, I don't know, it's coming right into the cloud. Got right into the cloud resistance right here, so it pulled back to the 50-day moving average. So let's see if it can hold there and still go into the cloud. If not, if it breaks down below the 80 watch out, it might have some more downside. So a little bit of caution there. Google. Hanging in there, holding on to the 80 and the 50-day moving average, right? So, and then 2020, yeah, Hood got a little bit of a pop here today, and then a drop. It was like, hey, I've got a new 50-day moving average. Let me test it. And then I'm off of it, right? So, again, no breakout on that one here today. Big push, big reversal. So, again, I love seeing Hood getting crushed. Let's see if it keeps getting crushed. That'd be great. So good stuff there. I am game. Yeah, my pleasure. And Michael Phillips. So Tesla share split in a month. I know, exactly. Before you know, it's going to be $2,000 to split it again. I mean, Elon Musk is going to be like a trillionaire, right? I mean, just all these stock splits. It's unbelievable. And Tracy, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. So Facebook, again, I was kind of hanging in there today. A little bit of a kind of a hammerish type candle right here. And then I got crushed here after hours with the Snap news. They're trying to rally it up. So this one is a pretty good candidate for a rally. So let's see if it goes to continue to defend that gap. And PayPal with follow through to the downside after the pins news yesterday. And wow, again, just a bigger even move than yesterday. So again, this one down, IBM was down. A couple names had some pretty rough moves today. But again, if we break down below yesterday's low or today's lows, next big level is 236, 237. right? So kind of keep an eye on that, see if it hits those areas. So good stuff there. Yeah, my pleasure. And Snoopy, love how Unusual Whales put Nancy and others on blast for obvious inside trader. I know, it's great, it's great. Unfortunately, it stinks. I wanted to do a video with them. But unfortunately, I had to unfollow because originally I found them and I was like, wow, this really got really good stuff. And then it was like I was going through the stream and there's like no cussing, and I was like, this is really good. And then yesterday or the other day, it was like all cussing. I was like, okay, this is just my policy with following folks. So it's too bad, but it looks like they have interesting software. It looks like it's a pretty reasonable deal and all that stuff. So, but could be interesting. So yeah. But yeah, I think that was what they were doing there. Is it's kind of cussing, saying they're gonna start talking about politicians and all that stuff. So anyway, yeah, all good. But anyway, guys, good stuff. Really appreciate everybody for tuning in here this evening. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Tomorrow's Friday, guys. Let's have a good one. Finish the week strong. Don't force anything, and just have a good end of the week. It's been a fun week so far, and it's been kind of a long week, but it's been a fun one. But really appreciate everybody for tuning in here. I hope everybody has a great evening. We'll see you here on YouTube bright and early tomorrow morning for the Good Morning Market Prep video. And until then, guys, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game.